Ah, flight, a magical mode of transportation that can take you to the home of your wildest dreams. But sometimes those dreams become nightmares. Enter Boeing, the Michael Bay of the aviation industry. They make awesome planes, but sometimes things go boom, literally. Remember the Boeing 787 Dreamliner? Yeah, the one that was supposed to revolutionize air travel. Well, it did, but not in the way they planned. This technological marvel, made partly of composites, was supposed to be lighter, more fuel efficient, and basically the Prius of air travel. But then 2013 happened. Dreamliner batteries overheated and started catching fire. On the ground, in the air. It was like the plane was having an existential mid-flight crisis. The FAA grounded the entire fleet. Passengers were shook. Boeing was pressed. It was a PR nightmare. This, my friends, is just a taste of the Boeing saga. So grab your seatbelt extender and buckle up because we're about to take off. Okay, before we roast Boeing too hard, let's give credit where credit is due. These guys basically invented the modern airline industry as we know it. Founded in 1916, they started small, building planes for the US Postal Service, back before Amazon spoiled us with two-day shipping. But Boeing had bigger dreams. They went from mail planes to military aircraft dominating the skies during World War II. Then came the industry game-changer, the Boeing 707, the OG jetliner that made international travel finally accessible to the masses. And who could forget the iconic Boeing 747, the queen of the skies? This jumbo jet with its distinctive hump was a symbol of luxury and innovation. It was like the first-class lounge of the sky, even if you were stuck in economy. Boeing was on a roll, becoming a global aviation juggernaut. But as we all know, with great power comes great responsibility and sometimes epic fails. All right, folks, let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say the grounded plane on the tarmac. The Boeing 737 MAX. This wasn't just a PR nightmare, it was an entire tragedy. Not to be confused with January 2024's Alaskan airline missing bolt debacle. In 2018 and 2019, two brand new 737 MAX planes crashed within months of each other, tragically killing 346 people. The world watched in shock and horror as investigations revealed a fatal flaw in the plane's automated flight control system, known as MCAS. Turns out Boeing rushed the development of the MAX to compete with Airbus, cutting corners and prioritizing profits over safety. They even kept the MCAS system a secret from pilots, assuming they wouldn't need to know about it. Big mistake, Boeing. Big mistake. It's literally why there's a saying about making assumptions. Anyways, the 737 MAX was grounded worldwide for almost 2 years, costing Boeing billions of dollars and, more importantly, shattering public trust. It was a wake-up call, a stark reminder that when it comes to aviation safety, people should always come before profits. Now, you can't talk about Boeing's blunders without mentioning the people at the top. Over the years, Boeing has had its fair share of CEOs, some better than others. But one thing's for sure, they all played a role in shaping the company's culture, for better or for worse. During the 737 MAX crisis, then CEO Dennis Muilenburg faced intense scrutiny for his handling of the situation. He seemed more concerned with protecting Boeing's image than taking responsibility for the company's mistakes. Remember that awkward congressional hearing where he kept repeating those robotic corporate lines? It was like watching AI try to give us a good reason why they shouldn't destroy humanity to save humanity. Not a good look, Dennis. Not a good look at all. The 737 MAX debacle exposed a leadership culture at Boeing that prioritized speed and profits over safety and transparency. It was a classic case of corporate greed gone wrong, leaving hundreds of families to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives. Now, onto the Boeing workforce crisis. Here's the thing about Boeing. They employ some of the brightest engineers and aviation experts in the world. These are the people who design and build incredible machines that literally defy gravity, but even the best engineers can't overcome a toxic corporate culture. As one might expect, over the years, Boeing has been accused of prioritizing cost-cutting measures and shareholder profits over the well-being of its workforce. Layoffs, outsourcing, and a relentless focus on efficiency created a culture of fear and silence within the company. When engineers raised concerns about the 737 MAX's design flaws, their warnings were ignored. Why? Because acknowledging those flaws would have delayed the plane's launch and hurt Boeing's bottom line. The 737 MAX tragedy wasn't just a failure of engineering, it was a failure of leadership, a failure of culture, and a failure to prioritize the people who build and fly these planes. Flying through turbulence, lessons learned, hopefully. So, what have we learned from Boeing's epic fails? Well, for starters, safety should never be compromised, no matter the cost. Cutting corners and prioritizing profits over people is a recipe for disaster, especially in an industry where countless lives are at stake. Boeing also needs to rebuild trust, both with its workforce and with the flying public. That means being transparent about its mistakes, listening to its employees, and putting safety at the forefront of every decision. The aviation industry is built on innovation, but innovation without accountability is like a plane without an engine. It might look cool, but it's going nowhere fast. Boeing down, but not out. Despite its recent struggles, Boeing remains a major player in the aviation industry. They've been around for over a century, surviving wars, recessions, and even their own self-inflicted fails. The company has taken steps to address the 737 MAX crisis, implementing new safety protocols and making changes to its leadership team. But the road to redemption is long, and Boeing still has a lot of work to do to regain public trust. The future of Boeing depends on its ability to learn from its past mistakes, prioritize safety and transparency, and rebuild its reputation as a leader in aviation innovation. Only time will tell if they can pull it off. So, you still trusting Boeing? All right, folks, we've covered a lot of ground today. We've seen Boeing at its peak, innovating and pushing the boundaries of aviation. But we've also witnessed the company at its lowest, making reckless decisions that cost lives and eroded public trust. So, the next time you board a Boeing plane, take a moment to appreciate the engineering marvel that's literally propelling you through the air. But also remember the lessons learned from the company's past mistakes and ensure all safety measures are in place as you board. Seriously, the future of aviation depends on companies like Boeing prioritizing safety, transparency, and accountability. Because when it comes to flying, there's no room for error. Stay vigilant, my friends, and always choose the airline with the best snacks. Now place your seats and tray tables in their upright positions as you prepare to land back in reality. Safe travels,